South Dakota, education is not always as simple as 1, 2, 3, 4. Representative Lance Russell, let's talk a little bit about House Bill 1234.
Well, it's a long and sordid history, as you're well aware.
Yes.
We showed up on the first day of the legislature to hear the governor's State of the State address, and that's when House Bill 1234 was sprung on us. As you know, you can file bills before the legislature starts. This bill wasn't filed until a couple of 2 or 3 weeks after the legislature starts.
It wasn't vetted or anything. It was just dropped on you.
Well, and that's the unfortunate part about it is that it wasn't properly vetted. There were discussions that were held for a few months leading up to the legislative session.
Were they open discussions?
But they weren't open to the media. They weren't open to anyone to attend. And so the first that I heard of it was on the first day of the legislature. And I think that created a situation that led to a very long session where we changed the bill numerous times. And then at the end of the day, we ended up with a bill that creates committees of 80 or 90 people to come up with what, in fact, the bill is going to do in the future.
This gives us visions of Nancy Pelosi saying we have to pass the bill so we can find out what's in the bill. This bill is passed and we still don't know what's in it.
We don't, to a large degree. Now, we do know that it will end teacher tenure in 2 or 3 years. We also know that there was a dedication of millions of dollars, I believe $17 million to the program, without knowing all of the details on what I would suggest is a course correction to education in South Dakota. And that led me to have some real reservations about passing the bill. You referenced Nancy Pelosi's famous statement about you're going to have to pass it before you get to read it. Well, here's a bill that we in fact passed without knowing all of the details, and that's the reason that I could not vote for it in the final analysis.
Well, and good practice would be to have open discussion. If not open to everyone, at least open to the entire Republican caucus to begin talking about and helping to craft an education policy that makes sense for everyone.
When you are making a decision that is essentially a course correction for the most important job of the state government, and that is the education of our children, you have to have it properly vetted. And the only way to do that is to have open meetings and be very inclusive, and also to have the media involved in the process, because that will vet the issues before you put together the bill. Here, we vetted the issues during a 30-day session, and it was just a backwards way of doing things.
Well, if I want to issue a dictate, I don't need your input. But if I want to craft a policy that's reasonable and has an opportunity for success, I would solicit your input.
I would certainly think so.
But that didn't happen with this bill.
It didn't happen to the degree to which it needed to happen to have a product on the first day of the legislature that we could embrace and know where we're going.
It's certainly not a very popular proposal.
No, it is not. In fact, in my district, the email was hundreds to 1 against it.
What motivates this administration to move this kind of an issue forward without buy-in from the people that it really impacts?
I think that it was just I think that the idea was that we do want input. I don't know why they had secretive meetings leading to it. I think that there were probably good intentions, but the manner in which that it went down, it smacked of Hillary Care years ago, where they had secret meetings and wouldn't allow anybody in, and then they come out with a product that nobody can buy into.
Well, and you understand in your district something about road construction with the Heartland Express going right through the middle of your district, and you said this was certainly done with good intentions, but we know the road to hell is paved with good intentions.
Well, that's true, and I think that that's why we ran into so much difficulty in the legislature trying to make something work, essentially trying to fit a round object into a square peg. And so that's where we ended up.
And really, where we have ended up is with large segment of South Dakota taxpayers very unhappy.
Yeah, I would suggest so, and that's why it was referred. And I hope that the people have an opportunity to make it known where they're at, so that we can set the restart button and start over and get a good product.
Yes. Well, it certainly is a product that really hasn't even been presented in finished form yet.
No.
And the people are going to even have to vote on it without knowing what's really in it.
And therein lies the problem.
Yes, it's a big problem. Be sure you get out and vote on this issue and continue to send conservative, reasonable representation to Pierre, and we won't see this problem. Stay tuned.